Digimon Adventures continuity has exactly 11 crests. Well, technically there's 9 actual crests and 2 additional crests in Miracles and Destiny that we've only ever properly seen as armored Digi-Eggs, some old toys aside. And you know what else is funny? There's a season of Digimon with exactly 11 chosen children with Digimon partners. So let's find out what would happen if the kids from Digimon Tamers use the Digimon Adventure crests to Digivolve their partners. What is up, digital companions? My name is Karn EX and welcome back to another video reporting to you live-ish from America. And being in America, I'm getting to experience fall this year. Wanted to get cozy and snuggle up with a good video game, which is why I am over the moon that today's video is sponsored by Dreamland Farm. Dreamland Farm is a farming game developed, published, and sponsored by Red Deer Games, available now on Nintendo Switch. After living in a big city, your dreams come true. Today, you start your new life on a peaceful pixel farm. Your grandma has taught you everything about farming and foraging, from taking care of crops to knowing which berries and mushrooms are edible. Your time has come to become her successor. Get a new start. You came from the big city to take over your grandma's farm, a pretty brave move for a city dweller. It's a good thing that this place has everything you need. With a few decent tools in your pocket, you can start making it your own. Plant crops, take care of cute animals, and don't forget to explore this vast green expanse. Make sure to take good care of yourself during all this though, as your energy has its limits. And you're not alone. There is a small and peaceful town near the farm where you'll find many hard-working people, like the local cook, smith, and the mayor. Getting to know them and helping them will expand your dreamland world bit by bit. Not to mention, they'll help you with upgrading your tools via blueprints, for a favor or two. Are you ready to uncover the secrets of Dreamland Farm and fall in love with it just like your grandma did? With a pixel world and a cozy aesthetic, your own pixelated plot of land, you get to balance out the cute and round animals and put them in a square barn. The world grows with you. As you upgrade your gear, the tiers of materials spawning in the world will go up. And there's no taxes. Dreamland Farm, where you start your life in the vast greens, is available now on Nintendo Switch. So make sure you go check it out, and thank you to Red Deer Games and Dreamland Farm for sponsoring this video. And for this video, I'm not too concerned if there's crossover with non-show media like V-Pets, etc. While I might rely on some V-Pets to find some evolution lines, if it turned out that in a V-Pet or a card game or something, that Guilmon became one of the Digimon I'm going to choose today, I don't mind so much because we never saw it in the actual show. Also, like our Crest evolution videos, we're looking at traits of the Crest from the show, like dinosaurs and fire and metal traits being added or doubled down on for Metal Greymon and War Greymon. But I also, in this instance, because we're kind of assigning crests too, I'm going to look at the actual names of the crests from Adventure and how they might apply to each kid from Tamers. And some quick disclaimers, because I have to put disclaimers in these videos or else the comments will never end. Me and you are likely not going to agree on what crest each kid gets. This is just what I'm assigning them based on my memories and what I enjoyed about Tamers and what I saw in each kid, or just what was left over in some cases. So you might disagree on what I've assigned the crest, and that's fine. This is just my subjective opinion. It's not the law of the land or anything like that. But each crest also is then giving me an opportunity to evolve their champion partners in new ways, which I think is interesting. So if you've got other ideas for crest, that's fine. I also want to say probably if they did get crest in like something that had custom art, was a proper show of the anime, they'd probably be unique crests for these kids, not adventure crests. But I do like the idea of Takato inheriting a crest from someone in Adventure. I like there being this legacy, especially because Digimon is a media property in the Tamers universe. And also, like the Adventure crest evolution videos we'll be making, yes, technically there is no law that says that the crests actually impact the visual result of an evolution, but also they probably do. Crests definitely matter and are physically required for the Adventure champions to go to Ultimate. Plus, we see the crests emblazoned on Digimon like War Greymon at the Mega level. So even if they're not influencing like the design philosophy of a Digimon, they are literally impacting evolution. And B, much more importantly, nerds, it's fun to think about these things, okay? So just lock in and have some fun for once in your life. So Takato, I really hummed and hard on this. I thought maybe as the leader, it'd be cool if he got something that a leader didn't typically get crest-wise. You know, give him something like light or reliability. And I could probably argue the case that every crest would actually work for Takato. But at the end of the day, he is the main gogglehead. He has the red Digivice and Agumon-esque partner. Plus, you'd have to be pretty courageous, pretty brave to sneak a goddamn dragon dinosaur home, so I do think it works for him. And if we look at how things like Megidramon happen, there is definitely a fiery passion to Takato. Maybe I'd give him the crest of passion if we were creating original evolution crests, but I do think courage works for him. This also would allow me to make a connection I've wanted to make for so long. I've talked about this in other videos, but Blitz Greymon looks like such a good evolution for War Growlmon. However, crest evolution occurs at the ultimate level, doesn't it? So to homage Adventure to include Greymon in Guilmon and Growlmon's evolution line, I thought it'd be really cool if, with the crest of courage, Growlmon digivolved to Rise Greymon. Remember, this is going to be a new Digimon Tamers continuity Legacy, so it would take place after things like Data Squad and indeed Adventure 2020. So Growlmon using the Crest of Courage to become Blitz Greymon, I love that. And Blitz Greymon's armor is still evocative of the armor of War Growlmon that it became without the crest. Some other contenders I do like to still kind of homage past seasons, and specifically Greymon from Adventure, is Growlmon becoming Vritramon, aka Burning Greymon in the dub, and then Ancient Greymon with the Crest of Courage. I think that would be very cool, especially because Guilmon has like the digital hazard thing going on. There's something primal about him. I think him eventually becoming Ancient Greymon would be very fun. And as a complete outlier, just because I really like the new Digimon Dinomon, which is meant to be like a Tyrannomon non-mechanical mega, I do think Growlmon using the Crest of Courage to become Doryu Goreimon and then Dinomon could also be fun, but not really a good Greymon callback to Adventure there, just a fun potential evolution line. Henry. He does have the green Digivice, which I think would be tempting to give him the Crest of Sincerity / Purity, but I don't think that fully applies to him. Like, Sincerity and Purity could kind of apply to any of these kids, but I don't just want to give it just because it's green. In Takato's case, the red kind of added to it rather than being the sole reason I gave him courage. And in my opinion, Henry is one of the most knowledgeable and reserved kids of the entire cast. You see him on his computer probably the most too, and he has good knowledge of the Digital Monsters program, etc., thanks to his super smart dad. Those genetics have got a hand down, you know? Well, you might say that Kenta is the most like Izzy because he's the most nerdy. I actually disagree. I think Henry has more in common with Izzy than Kenta does by a wide mile. But then if we're looking at the traits of knowledge, it's very bug themed, right? And this is why I want to talk about actually taking the word knowledge too and seeing if we can do something with that. Obviously, my predication is to have Rapidmon become Fujinmon instead of Mega Gargomon. And I do think Fujinmon could work kind of well here as the Mega. However, I think I do have a way to combine the bug side of the Crest of Knowledge with Gargomon specifically, and that is to have him perhaps become Metal Life Kawagamon. It has gun hands, which is pretty good connect from Gargomon. Admittedly, they fire more like lasers than bullets, but I still think it works. And Metal Life Kawagamon is gold like Rapidmon Gold. Now, of course, we didn't see Henry's Gargomon become Rapidmon Gold in Tamers, but I still think it's a reasonably good connection. Plus, you could imagine the ears of Gargomon with the Crest of Knowledge being transformed into the stag horns. It's not a million miles away. Another contender I do like because of Gargomon again having these guns would be Cannon Beamon, which I just think would be hilarious to have Gargomon become with the Crest of Knowledge, and then end on something crazy like Gundramon. But speaking of Cannon Beamon, if we are going with Metal Life Kawagamon as the Crest Ultimate for Gargomon, honestly, Tiger Vespamon would be pretty funny. And another pick I like is Hercules Kabuterimon, which would be a great evolution from Metal Life, keeping the golden theme and the horns. But yes, it is Izzy's partner Mega. However, if this is its own universe, the Tamers universe, that actually might be fine. If Digimon Adventure is a show or a piece of media in the Tamers universe, even though Rio, of course, is hopping between the universes anyway, Henry's Terriermon eventually becoming Hercules Kabuterimon, which is a crazy concept, being a direct homage to Adventure is actually kind of fun. Kind of like how Data Squad has a new version of Agumon and indeed a Rosemon. The bug elements may be a little bit too crazy, but I just can't see another way to make knowledge really work here. So I'm going to go Terriermon, Gargomon, Metal Life Kawagamon, and then Tiger Vespamon, but I also do like Hercules Kabuterimon and even Fujinmon here. Moving over to Rika and her partner Renamon. While Rika does have heart symbols on her shirt, they are blue hearts and they're broken. So I think giving her the Crest of Love would just be such a disservice to her character. She's got the blue Digivice and is very much the lone wolf of the season early on, even butting heads with Takato in a very similar way that Matt did with Tai, because in my opinion, Rika is the Matt of the season. So if she's got the Crest of Friendship, we're going to be looking for a few things. Cubimon will be digivolving. Because it's the Crest of Friendship, I'd like to keep more bestial elements. And if I can, some more fire going on too. But I also want to keep that traditional East Asian feel of the Renamon line going, which is why I think a no-brainer would be to have Cubimon with the Crest of Friendship become Tylinmon. It's a holy beast Digimon, its name, origin, its etymology. Tylin is a different way of saying Qilin or Qilin, a horse-like chimerical creature from Chinese mythology. And you've probably seen this coming by now, but that teases up to end on Mitamamon, the more recently made alternative evolution for Tylinmon from Digimon Eirias instead of Kentorismon. And what I like about Mitamamon, first of all, its name comes from Mitama, which is a Shinto agricultural god. Shinto being a very popular Japanese religion, and Sakoyamon getting its name from the Kojiki, which is part of a Japanese chronicle of myths, legends, etc. So Mitamamon and Sakoyamon would occupy the same regional part of the world. Also, Sakoyamon has this kind of like blue, almost Foxfire-esque companion, and indeed Mitamamon also has a blue flame, in addition to a red flame, yellow flame, and green flame, but its overall appearance is much more blue, evoking, in my opinion, something much closer to Garurumon, working as a mega for Cubimon with the Crest of Friendship, while not sacrificing what makes Renamon's evolution line so fun, and while adding in what I think could work as nods to Garurumon where Garurumon in Metal Garurumon. One of its attacks, Kaijin Raido even means Ash and Thunderclap Eye, which you could take one step further and be an interpretation, a little wink, little nod to the fact that the Digi-Egg of Friendship in 02 manifests a Thunder and Lightning form in Raidramon. Alright, Jeri. Well, thankfully, Jeri's partner actually is basically always at the champion level, even dying at the champion level. In V-Pets and such, her Leomon becomes Grap Leomon, and that's when I had an idea. I think I am gonna give Jeri the Crest of Love. While it's a little bit lame just to give a girl the Crest of Love, I actually think it's kind of a part of her character. Learning to love her partner, learning in some ways to forgive and perhaps love Beelzemon, and she's probably the closest to a love interest that Takato's gonna get. But also giving her the Crest of Love sets up a really nice crest evolution. The Crest of Love is associated with bird-like Digimon, Biomon, Birdramon, Garudamon, Phoenixmon, and in the Digi-Egg of Love in 02, we see Hawkmon become Halsamon. The themes of flying and birds are very strong, and wouldn't you know it, in Digimon V-Tamer, still yet to leave Digimon V-Tamer jail, maybe because Regulusmon now exists, there was a flying, mega-level Leomon variant called Regulamon. You cannot make this up, how perfect that is. So now we have Leomon, because we never saw it become Grap Leomon in the TV show, it's fine to use Grap Leomon here, with turbines on its arms and legs, spinning turbines, perhaps jet turbines that you could fly with, and then digivolving it at the mega level to Regulamon, who can literally fly. It is perfect for the Crest of Love, I adore that. Time for Rio, who is partnered with, of course, Cyberdramon, but originally Monodramon, and I suppose Strike-Dramon. Rio is really tied to Digimon Adventure, and I guess you could say he's pure of heart in defending the digital world time and time again. Plus, in the video where we gave armor Digivolutions to the Digimon Tamers cast, we actually gave Monodramon a Sincerity armor, so I kind of like the idea of giving Rio the Sincerity or Purity crest. And this maybe is a bit of a leap, but I do like the fact that the traditional Japanese warrior vibes of Shurimon, who is the Digi-Egg of Sincerity armor, could kind of tie back to Justimon's evocation of Kamen Riders, Japanese warriors in their own right, with even Hawkmon, Shurimon's non-armored form, eventually becoming Sylphimon, another Kamen Rider reference via Joggrass. So yes, I'm going to be looking at forms kind of like humanoid fairy grass forms. That's why I really like Monodramon to Strike-Dramon, with the crest of Sincerity or Purity in Japan, becoming Aegyakusmon Green. It's a proper hero, it is a godlike Digimon, and as I've talked about a few times now, Aegyakusmon Green has all its other coloured forms, which to me very much evokes a similar vibe to Kamen Rider mode changes. And in this instance, instead of a biomerge with Cyberdramon to the mega level, the crest would purify Strike-Dramon or Monodramon at the ultimate level. The crest of Sincerity or Purity in Japan, purifying Rio's partner to become Aegyakusmon Green, a Digimon with the potential to become a god. And so yeah, we could actually make the Mega Jupitermon, which is an Aegyakusmon evolution. But I also really like keeping the grass and traditional warrior theme, making him Bloom Lordmon. Obviously the plant life element, the warrior element, but specifically tying to Sincerity / Purity evolutions and adventure, Lilymon and Rosemon are fairy type Digimon, and so is Bloom Lordmon. Love that. Suzi, I really considered Purity for her, but I actually really like the idea of giving her the Crest of Light. Suzi is the younger sister of one of the older chosen children of this season, and she's a later addition to the party too, not getting a Digimon partner till later in the season, making her relationship with Henry incredibly similar to Kari's relationship with Tai. Plus, the light of children is a theme across all Digimon media. Suzi is a literal pure light. And given that she's partnered with the Deva and Telemon, which de-digivolves to Lopmon, we're fairly certain in V-Pets and things like that, it would become Lopmon then Teruimon. That rabbit theme, I've used it so many times, but it works again with the Crest of Light, having Teruimon become Cressamon and Dianamon, Diana being the goddess of the moon, light, perfection. But if you're sick of me using Cressamon and Dianamon, I also think a very similarly rabbity Digimon which has a light side is Luminamon. So Teruimon could become Luminamon. And that would be a fun connection too, because Luminamon's dark side is Shademon. And this would be a nice callback to the fact that indeed Antilamon was an evil Deva, and the Lopmon evolution line is full of two sides. We got Lopmon becoming Wendymon or Teruimon, the dark Wendymon, the purified Teruimon, and indeed Cherubimon Virtue and Cherubimon Vice. So having Teruimon with the Crest of Light become Luminamon, Lumination, Light, but that potential for Shademon, the shadow that light casts, pretty cool. And make the Mega Lord Nightmon, why not? It kind of looks rabbity, and it's pink, so it could be a good Luminamon evolution. Cressamon, Dianamon, Luminamon, Lord Nightmon, whichever you prefer. Kazu and his Gardramon. I'm gonna give him the Crest of Reliability or Sincerity in Japan. This one is a bit of a reductionist attribution, but I think it actually makes sense. First of all, the symbol on Kazu's shirt is way closer to the Crest of Reliability than Rika's broken blue heart is to the Crest of Love. And personality-wise, Kazu is also someone that's pretty sincere and reliable, depending on the sub or dub preference. For all of his downsides, he is so reliable and sincere when he needs to be, which is ultimately what gets him a partner Digimon when he helps Andromon. So considering the crest of reliability, sincerity in Japan, is connected to Digimon like Gomamon, Ikakumon, Zudomon, Vaikemon, potentially Plesiomon, and Submarimon in 02, Gardromon, the robot Digimon, I think with the crest of reliability becoming Frozomon, perfect, and then Raidenmon, the big mech Digimon, which is kind of an all-terrain vehicle. It could go on the ice, it could go on the snow, it could go in the water maybe, and looks like a brilliant evolution of Frozomon, plus they have that one eye in common. You can see how Gardromon could like close one eye during evolution or even lose one to become Frozomon with the crest of reliability, and then become this huge mech tank with Raidenmon. I just love this little evolution line. And Kenta, Marine Angemon. Well, Marine Angemon's a mega already. I think I kind of like the idea of giving Kenta the crest of hope though, because, well, he is partnered with an Angemon. Now, yes, I know technically Marine Angemon is based on sea angels and isn't truly an Angemon at all, but I still think it works, right? Even if it's not lore accurate on a naming level to give an Angemon partner the crest of hope. But I will totally admit this is a bit of a leftover. We've assigned a lot of crests so far and I really like them, but Kenta, kind of anything could have worked, you know, light, hope, reliability, whatever you want. But Kenta is also one of the last kids to get a Digimon partner, always hoping to get said partner, and his hope eventually pays off with Marine Angemon. He definitely worked with love or reliability though, I will admit. Now, because of the D-Power VPET, we know that Marine Angemon's rookie would be Penguinmon and its champion Dolphmon. And honestly, with the crest of hope, Marine Angemon wouldn't be a terrible mega. However, I'm going to go a little bit different with this. Having Dolphinmon, which I guess would be Kenta's partner, with the crest of hope become Huankunmon from Digimon New Century. Huankunmon's concept is based on Kun and Pong, the Chinese mythology wherein Kun the fish transforms into Pong or Dapong, the giant bird. This is referenced by Huankunmon becoming Shongpongmon in Digimon New Century, a aquatic bird Digimon, which I think could be the mega. While I can't find anything that states Kun and Pong have any astrological significance, we can at least tie the crest of hope to mythology as a general basis. As in Digimon Adventure, the crest of hope access forms related to specifically Christian mythology, angels, but in 02, instead of doubling down on Christian mythology, we get Pegasusmon based on Greek mythology and potentially star signs. So if we do have Kenta's Dolphmon become Huankunmon and Shongpongmon with the crest of hope, that would add another pantheon into the crest of hope's roster of mythologies, which I like a lot. I and Mako have Impmon, and as kind of the last big significant chosen children of the show, with a very significant partner Digimon, similar in many ways to Ken being the last addition to 02, I think I and Mako having the crest of kindness makes all the sense in the world. I and Mako's lack of kindness to each other literally drove Impmon away, and it's learning to be kind and to share that wins him back. Equally, Impmon himself has to learn kindness and how to work with others throughout the season. Plus, dumb connection, but Impmon to me straight up looks like an evil or dark version of Buchimon, gloves and all. I've talked about that before too. The themes of the crest of kindness, we don't really know. We've never seen the crest be used for Digivolution. We've only ever seen the armored Digi-Egg of kindness, access cutesy, gloved, kill them with kindness, kind of mascot character forms. But because of Stingmon, potentially Jewel Beamon and Bancho Stingmon, we could also fold in some bug elements. So don't get me wrong, it's really tempting to just use the Digimon Liberator evolutions for Impmon, Punkmon, Loudmon, and Heavy Metal Dramon. But looking at the VPETs, it's likely that the Impmon from Tamers either would have become Meramon or Wizardmon. I personally prefer Wizardmon in this instance, but if it's Meramon, that's fine too. Either way, I think with the crest of kindness, Impmon's ultimate should be Pumpkinmon. It's a cutesy little Digimon with gloved hands, admittedly not pink, but still pretty good. And its pumpkin theme, its Nightmare Soldier elements, the Headless Horseman aesthetic, plus its depiction in Digimon Ghost Game, still makes it pretty creepy. And that would tee us up perfectly for little kids that love trick or treat and Halloween for the mega to be Noble Pumpkinmon. Again, another Nightmare Soldier literally on the same dim card, Dynasty of the Evil as the Cross Wars Beelzemon and Balmon. I just think works really well. It's a nice evolution and something I can see I and Mako having. And finally, that brings us to our last two sort of crests, which I guess is appropriate given that we do have two more sort of chosen children. Those being Minami and Alice McCoy. Alice McCoy showing up for hardly any time at all with her partner Dobamon, and Minami showing up only in the Tamers Battle of Adventurers movie with her Labramon Katoramon that becomes a Sisamon. Kinda just flipped a coin on this one, but I gave Minami the Crest of Miracles because her dog dying and then her getting a Digimon dog was kind of a miracle. Choosing a Miracles evolution for Sisamon was not that difficult to me. While of course Tamers has the Devas, wouldn't be the first time that a kid got partnered with a Deva, so why not have Minami's Sisamon with the Crest of Miracles become Katoramon? It's a Deva. Maybe even not the exact same Deva as we see in Tamers, maybe a different version of Katoramon, but still. And then, keeping that theme going, it could become Baihumon or the Golden Fang Longmon with the Crest of Miracles, meaning that Minami with a very exceptional crest, the Crest of Miracles, which becomes the Digi-Egg of Miracles, resulting in Digimon like Magnamon, her partner Labramon to Sisamon would become Katoramon, a Deva, and then potentially a Golden God in the Sovereign. I like that a lot. And Alice, Destiny, well, her Dobamon I think a really natural pick, given that there are basically two final megas that are attributed to Alice by the fandom and some Digimon media, that is either Anubismon or Plutomon, Anubismon being an Egyptian reference. Well, let's have her Dobamon become Bastemon. It's got golden rings, kind of rounded, more like the Digi-Egg of Destiny, and indeed the Crest of Destiny, and has that Egyptian theme like Anubismon. For the Mega then, well, I think Pharaohmon could work pretty well. It's still Egyptian themed like Anubismon, and of course much more golden, and I can definitely see Alice with a Pharaohmon, but if you want to go a little bit different, you could instead have Bastemon become Junomon. This might seem a little bit weird, but of course Junomon is in the Olympos 12, and is therefore a rival to Plutomon, which I just said is another potential Mega for Alice's Dobamon without a crest or anything. Meaning if the line was like Labramon, Dobamon, Bastemon, Junomon, Alice would ostensibly have a reference to both the Egyptian side, Anubismon, and the Greek myth side and the Roman myth side with Junomon, meaning that Anubismon and Plutomon are still referenced in a somewhat golden looking evolution line. I will admit though, I'm not sold on this one. If you've got anything else you think would be cool in the comments, let me know. And that's it, my ideas for what it might look like if the Digimon Tamers cast got to use the crest from Adventure to Digivolve their partners. As always, this is just fun evolution line stuff. The crest attribution is not firm. If you've got other ideas, let me know in the comments down below, and let me know your fun ideas. Don't take it too seriously, it's just a silly Digimon video. Thank you to my sovereigns, EDK14, and all my other patrons over on patreon.com/Karn EX, and my channel members here on YouTube for holding it down, and I'll see you next time when we go digital. Bye bye.